Imagine waking up to a knock that sounds like Judgment Day, only to find your neighborhood's self-appointed queen demanding you fork over $8,500 for violations that smell fishier than week-old trash. That's exactly what happened to Jack Harlan, a retired engineer who'd spent years minding his own business in a cookie-cutter suburb where the grass is always greener. Because if it's not, the HOA will fine you into oblivion. But oh, the irony. This power-hungry Karen's entire kingdom, from her fancy office to the playground swings, was squatting on Jack's private property like a bad tenant who'd forgotten to pay rent for 3 decades. Hey folks, welcome back to Suburban Showdowns, where we dive into the wild world of HOA horrors, Karen catastrophes, and those life lessons that hit harder than a surprise inspection. You know the drill, these stories are all about the little dictators in khakis who think a clipboard gives them godlike powers over your mailbox color. Today, we're remixing a classic takedown with extra sarcasm. Because nothing's funnier than watching a control freak's empire crumble under the weight of their own hypocrisy. Buckle up. This one's got more twists than a cul-de-sac roundabout. It started on a lazy Saturday in Willow Creek Estates, that picture-perfect slice of American suburbia where every lawn is manicured to within an inch of its life, and the air hums with the subtle threat of conformity. Jack Harlan, pushing 60 with a salt and pepper beard and a penchant for flannel shirts, was sipping his black coffee, scrolling through old county maps on his laptop, a leftover habit from his days designing bridges that actually held up. Retirement suited him. No more deadlines, just quiet mornings in his modest ranch house with its vegetable patch out back and a tall wooden fence shielding his yard from prying eyes. Then came the slam of car doors, like the opening salvo in a bad neighborhood war. Jack peered out the window and saw her, Barbara Klein, the HOA president, striding up his driveway like she owned the asphalt. She was in her signature power suit, navy blue, starched to perfection, with her auburn bob haircut that screamed, "I manage people for fun." Flanking her were a supposed code enforcement officer in a uniform that looked rented from a costume shop, and 2 board members clutching folders like lifelines. The doorbell chimed insistently, twice, as if patience was a violation too. Jack opened the door, and Barbara thrust forward with a smile that could curdle milk. "Mr. Harlan, good morning. I'm Barbara Klein, president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. This is Officer Ramirez from the city, our treasurer Mark Ellis, and Secretary Linda Crow." She gestured grandly, her voice dripping with that faux politeness that masks a steel trap. The officer shifted on his feet, his badge glinting oddly under the sun, faded, like it had been through too many washes. Barbara unfolded a sheaf of papers with the flair of a magician revealing a trick. "We've documented several serious infractions on your property. You have 24 hours to comply, or fines will accrue daily." Her eyes sparkled with authority as she listed them off. Item 1. That vegetable garden? Strictly forbidden. Agricultural activity in a residential zone. Tear it out. Item 2. Your house paint is off-shade from our approved palette. Repaint immediately. Item 3. The privacy fence obstructs community sightlines, posing a safety hazard. She air-quoted safety with a wink, as if it were a joke only she got. Then she slapped down an estimate, her manicured nail tapping the total, $8,500. That's for labor, materials, and administrative fees. Community standards keep property values high, Mr. Harlan. We're all in this together. Mark and Linda nodded like bobbleheads, their faces masks of solemn agreement. The officer stared at his shoes, mumbling something about just delivering the notice. Jack's engineer brain kicked in instantly. The document screamed fake. The font was slightly off. The city seal pixelated like a bad Photoshop job. And the cited codes? He'd memorized those back in his working days. These didn't exist. Officer Ramirez, Jack said calmly, eyeing the badge that looked more eBay than official. Could you clarify Statute 47.2b? I'm not familiar with that one. The guy stammered. Sir. It's all in the paper. I gotta go. Barbara's smile twitched, but she powered through. Of course. Verify if you must. We'll check back Monday. Remember, non-compliance affects everyone. As they piled into their SUV, Barbara called over her shoulder. It's for the greater good, Mr. Harlan. Think of the children. Jack watched them drive off, chuckling inwardly at the absurdity. Greater good? More like greater greed. He dialed the city planning office right away. The clerk laughed outright. No violations here, sir. And no Officer Ramirez on duty today. That badge number's retired. Bingo. Barbara wasn't just pushy. She was playing dress-up with fraud. But Jack didn't blow up. No. He sipped his coffee, filed the fake papers away, and thought, all right, Barbie, let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Little did she know, her empire was about to get audited in the most satisfying way possible. Come Monday, the real circus rolled in. Jack was midway through his morning routine when a legit inspector showed up. Badge shiny and legit. Clipboard at the ready. Mr. Harlan. Anonymous tip about an unpermitted shed in your yard. Mind if I measure? Jack shrugged. His shed was 3 years old. Permitted and all. The guy poked around from the sidewalk, snapping pics, then frowned at his tablet. Applications here, but the final sign-off's missing. Glitch? Maybe. Gotta red tag it anyway. Fix in 10 days. Jack smelled Barbara's handiwork. Sure enough, by Tuesday, a landscaping crew roared up in a truck emblazoned with Willow Creek-approved services. They didn't trim his hedge. They butchered it, chainsaws whirring like they were auditioning for a horror flick. 15 feet of mature greenery gone in minutes, leaves scattering like confetti at a funeral. Jack stormed out. What the hell? The foreman smirked, handing over a work order. Overgrowth violation, blocking sightlines. Safety first, buddy. Call the office if you got beef. $300 in plants down the drain. But the message was clear. Comply or cry. Wednesday amped it up. A process server ambushed Jack at his part-time consulting gig, hollering his name in the lobby like a town crier. Papers for you. Heads turned as Jack took the envelope. A lien attempt for $2,400 in unpaid dues. His title service caught it before recording, but the humiliation stung. Meanwhile, his mailbox bulged with certified letters, each one a masterpiece of legalese threatening more fines, more inspections. Social media lit up next. Anonymous posts on the neighborhood Facebook group. That Harlan guy's a menace, refusing basic rules, tanking our home values. Whispers at the bus stop turned to stares. Even sweet old Mrs. Jenkins, whom Jack had helped with her gutters last fall, sidled up worriedly. Barbara showed us photos of your hazards. Is it true you're endangering the kids? Parents yanked their children away when Jack waved hello, like he was the boogeyman in plaid. Thursday, surveillance theater. Barbara casually strolled past his house 3 times, notepad in hand, peering over the fence like a nosy peacock. A board member parked across the street, snapping telephoto shots while pretending to birdwatch. Jack installed cameras that night, capturing every ridiculous strut. He called the cops on the harassment. Officer Brooks sighed. Civil matter, but document it. His lawyer, Sarah Levine, was blunter. This is textbook HOA bullying. She's weaponizing bureaucracy to break you. We fight back smart. Jack nodded, but inside, he was already digging. While Barbara's machine ground on, filing obscure complaints that tied him up in red tape, he pored over old surveys, HOA charters, and county records. The pressure mounted. Anonymous notes in his mailbox reading, "Fit in or move out, for the community's sake." His name became synonym for troublemaker at block parties he wasn't invited to. Sleep? Who needs it when you're buried in paperwork designed to drown you? But here's where the black comedy kicks in. Barbara's rules were so absurdly nitpicky, they bordered on parody. One complaint cited his garden tomatoes as aggressive flora that could invade neighboring yards. Another demanded his fence be aesthetically harmonious with the HOA's color chart, which included shades like suburban serenity beige. Jack muttered to himself, "Harmonious? My ass, it's wood." Yet he stayed cool, documenting every idiocy, knowing her overreach was her Achilles heel. As the legal noose tightened, an emergency injunction claiming his property was a ticking time bomb of hazards, Jack's research unearthed gold. The original 1980s plat maps showed his land predating the HOA by years. And get this, their storm drains, power lines, even the sacred HOA clubhouse, all encroaching on his turf. Built without a whisper of permission after a developer bankruptcy left maps in chaos. Barbara's background? Shadier than an eclipse. Suspended law license for fiddling client funds. A trail of fraud suits. And her consulting gig? Charging the HOA fat fees for services that smelled like embezzlement. Levine grinned over coffee. She's not just bossy. She's cooking the books to hide it. Those attacks? Smoke screens. Jack leaned back. So, she's building her throne on my dirt. With stolen cash. Poetic. The fight was personal now. But Jack played the long game, gathering proof while Barbara's antics grew more cartoonish. Like staging a TV interview at the neighborhood gate, cooing, "We're just protecting our values from rogue elements." Rogue? Jack chuckled. She was the pirate here. The escalation hit fever pitch as Barbara's smear campaign turned the suburb into a witch hunt. Process servers popped up at his gym. Harlan? Lawsuit delivery. His favorite diner, special order, subpoena with fries. Legal filings piled up, 12 in 2 weeks, each one a fresh hell of fees and deadlines. Costs soared, $800 a week just to breathe. Neighbors shunned him. Kids crossed the street like he had the plague. Barbara's posts online? Masterclasses in gaslighting. Concerned about that eyesore on Elm Street? It's dragging us all down. Think of the resale. Jack hired a surveyor buddy, Tom Reyes, for the deep dive. GPS in hand. They mapped it all. HOA office? 80% on Jack's land. Playground? Squatting entirely. Utilities? Trespassing like uninvited guests. Report tallied $800,000 in illegal builds, plus eco-messes, septic leaks into drains, violating EPA rules. Records showed no easements, no permits. It was a house of cards built on bankruptcy blunders from '91. But Barbara doubled down, getting a judge to greenlight emergency access to his yard for maintenance. Contractors showed up with tools, grinning like they'd won the lottery. HOA orders. Gotta fix those hazards. Jack barred them, cameras rolling. Socially, it was Armageddon. HOA newsletters branded him the holdout. Forums buzzed with fear-mongering. If Harlan wins, our pools close. Property apocalypse. Parents whispered, "Don't play near his house, he's unstable." Under the strain, Jack's kitchen became war room. Maps everywhere, sticky notes like confetti, coffee stains marking battles. Sleep evaded him, the weight pressed. But he found the smoking gun in dusty archives, a 1978 survey proving they knew, or should have. Emails from Barbara's firm hinted at covered-up errors to keep the cash flowing. Levine spotted the fraud. Legal fees inflated. She's siphoning reserves. $40,000 vanished into her pocket. Barbara's desperation showed in her lopsided logic. At a community meeting, she ranted, "Mr. Harlan's defiance threatens our harmony. We must unite against such selfishness." The crowd nodded, blind to her hypocrisy. Jack attended incognito, biting his tongue as she preened. Safety first. Folks, even if it means tough love. Tough love? More like tough luck for her victims. With the hearing looming, Jack bought the HOA's debt. $50,000 worth. For pennies, becoming their creditor. Leverage, check. The stage was set for the blowout. The county commission chamber buzzed like a hive on steroids. 70 residents packed in, air thick with tension and cheap coffee. Barbara sat front row, suit impeccable, face a mask of righteous indignation, flanked by her three-lawyer posse looking smug as sharks. Jack entered quietly, briefcase in hand, Levine at his side. Commissioner Reyes banged the gavel. This hearing on the Willow Creek HOA versus Harlan property dispute will proceed. Ms. Klein, your opening. Barbara rose, voice honeyed poison. Commissioner, this is about community welfare. Mr. Harlan's violations endanger us all. Blocked accesses, environmental risks. We seek injunction for compliance. Her team nodded. The crowd murmured approval. Jack stayed silent, watching her fidget slightly, a crack in the facade. Then his turn. 6 minutes allotted, he made them count. Minute 1. Commissioner, let's start with facts. He projected the fake document from day one. This notice? Forged. Pixelated seal. Bogus codes. Gasps rippled. Barbara scoffed. Preposterous. But the commissioner leaned in. Minute 2. Survey maps lit the screen. Their office. Playground. Drains all on my land. No easements. Built post-bankruptcy on errors they ignored. Barbara interjected. Historical oversights. We act in good faith. Jack smiled thinly. Good faith? Or good profits? Minute 3, background drop. Ms. Klein's license? Suspended for fraud. Prior suits for embezzlement. Her face paled. Lawyers whispered furiously. The crowd shifted uncomfortably. Their saint had skeletons. Minute 4, financial bomb. I own your debt now, $50,000. Pay up or I seize assets. Barbara spluttered. This is extortion. Commissioner. Documentation. Levine slid it over. Power flipped. Her empire wobbled. Minute 5. EPA rep stepped up. Septic violations. Groundwater poisoned. Shutdown required. Photos showed leaks. Residents groaned. Barbara. Minor issues. We're fixing. But the Fed shook his head. Federal crimes. Ma'am. Minute 6. The kill shot. Forensic charts. $40,000 embezzled via fake fees. Bank trails led straight to her. Stolen land. Stolen money. Classic. The room erupted. Barbara stammered. Lies. We need time. Commissioner. Denied. Operations suspended. Criminal referral for Klein. Silence fell like a hammer. Barbara deflated. Her hatch-dyke aura shattered. Jack's final words. I don't want ruin. Just truth. You can't build on theft. Rulings reigned. HOA frozen. Fines $80,000. Jack granted control. Barbara approached post-hearing. Voice cracking. You've ruined me. Jack. No. Your greed did. I just mapped it. In the aftermath, Barbara's world imploded faster than a popped balloon. Cops escorted her out. Investigations piled on. Fraud. Theft. Eco-crimes. Her practice tanked. House hit the market at fire sale prices. She fled the state, tail between legs. Probation and $60,000 restitution her new accessories. Bankruptcy followed. Her empire reduced to rubble. The HOA? Sealed shut. Accounts iced. Residents panicked. Property values dipped 12%. Playground taped off like a crime scene. Families clustered, whispering, We trusted her, Mrs. Jenkins teared up. What now? Jack. He stepped up as interim admin, owning the debt and land. Chaos reigned. Cleanup crews swarmed for $160,000 in fixes. Media swarmed with headlines like, HOA fraud queen dethroned. But Jack rebuilt fair. Negotiated leases, $2,500 monthly for land use. Debt restructured over 7 years. New septic. Audits quarterly. A fresh board elected. Transparent as glass. Property values rebounded 25%. Insurance dropped. Jack became the quiet hero. Walks now greeted with nods, not glares. He consulted for other HOAs, turning pain to purpose. 6 months on. Willow Creek gleamed anew. Clear markers. Eco-gardens. Rules applied evenly. Kids swung freely. Harmony returned. Sans tyranny. Jack reflected. Justice? Not revenge, but reset. The suburb learned. Power unchecked breeds monsters. So, tell me in the comments. In a world of HOA absurdities, is the real villain the rulebook tyrant, or the silent enablers who let them reign? Drop your take right or wrong, and smash that like if this takedown gave you the chills. Subscribe for more. Peace out.